We are in trouble. Welcome back to the 600,000 mile Lexus Restoration project, and we are in trouble because I already scheduled the outside detail and we're not done with mechanical stuff, and that detail is happening this Saturday. Today is Thursday and we have a load of stuff to do. No time for an intro. Let's get straight to work and we can get as much as possible done. And the first thing we are doing is the dipstick, which is leaking. I'm pretty sure Jason doesn't want this leaking all over his new shop, or I don't know if it's new or not, but not the same location we went to. So we're gonna get straight to work here, and we're also doing the front struts because one of them just decided to start leaking. So I'm just gonna go into fast mode here. There goes that clip. Yeah, fast mode is not working very well, and I know we were missing a clip here. We're gonna get that done. While we're here, let's just get these off as well. There we go. Now the dipstick. Am I gonna be able to loosen it from here? Possibly not. I think we'll get it from the bottom better. Let's lift the car up and see what happens. And for the millionth time, we're hoping, actually we're going to do a few things today that will make this hopefully the last time. We take this cover off, and I have said that like 10 times. You feel like you guys don't believe me anymore, but we're hoping this is it. I got some additional stuff here. I'll make this cover hopefully not come off again. Heavy emphasis on the word hopefully. Of course. Oh, okay. Take the transmission one. It's actually going to need the cleaning because I started getting all the oil on it. This is my fault. This is my fault. I know these cars. I know they love. You see all that oil? That's no good. I know these cars, and I know that the dipstick O-ring loves to leak on these, and I decided in my non-infinite wisdom to not replace it. Now I'm gonna pay for it. Yeah, it's leaking so bad. Let's see if we can get you a shot of it. Let's remove this cover and see what we're gonna be able to see here. Happy to announce that we got these, so this is retiring. Now I gotta get the bolt of the dipstick, which is all the way up there. And I'm really nervous about this one because how exactly are we gonna get it started in there? Well, one problem at a time. Let us get in there, get it off, and then we'll see what the plan is. Let's see if I can get my socket in there. Are you big enough? Small enough? No. I actually have the perfect socket for this, but it's broken. So, waiting for the tool guy to get me a new one. We're gonna try the broken one. I don't think it's gonna do much, but if it at least loosens it up for us, we can get the rest of it by hand. Let's see. No, I don't think so. Oh, I'm on it. This is either going to go very badly or very badly. Oh, okay. My socket broke completely now. Back to the drawing board. Let me see what we can come up with. Okay, plan W. We've exhausted every other plan. Quarter inch. Quarter inch gonna fit there? Yes. I'm gonna be able to get it though. Let's see. Another question. My, somebody really over tightened this one. Okay, they're not gonna see. Well, this is either gonna be a disaster right now or it's gonna go well. We are hoping for go well. Disaster or go well. That is not on the bolt. Well, actually it is. Yes, not disaster. I like that. Well, what I'm going to do right now is create the disaster by taking the bolt out that we can't even see and reach. And how are we going to get it back on there? Well, I am thinking the plan here, here's that bolt. Plan is here, one disaster at a time, right? That's the plan. It's near impossible for you guys to see this. I'm gonna give Jose a minute to see if he can actually get you in here, but I don't think so, because even with it loose, I mean, it's still not exactly loose. I can't even see what we're doing. We have a very tiny little space. This is not a fun job doing the dipstick O-ring. There it is. It's out. Oh yeah, that is, when I say dipstick O-ring, they're off the lack of dipstick O-ring, because there is literally nothing left of it, and you can't get the dipstick completely out. That's as far as it goes. So we're gonna have to find a way to kind of get in there, get the old O-ring off, get the new one on, and put the bolt that I can't reach to start. I guess one disaster at a time. One disaster at a time. Problem is, because this is a... So if you own a 2004, 2006, this is very simple. If you own the early ones, like this one, where it has a transmission dipstick, it's not the easy ones, because the transmission dipstick is actually tied to the engine dipstick, and it is not simple to separate them, because we tried that before, and yeah. Okay, let's just not give up. I think what I'm gonna do to give me a little bit of room, this is how you have to sometimes deal with situations. We're gonna loosen the rack, hopefully move the rack. I know we had this all out, we could have done this, but move the rack a little bit, and hopefully that gives us enough room. So let's try that. Okay, let's loosen the rack, and that came with the stud. Just think these are the tip of the stud is 10 millimeters. Yes, it is. Okay, there's one. Yes, or not. All right, we'll find out. Well, it gives me a little bit of room, but not exactly the room I was hoping for. Unless we put something here to prop it up. I think I know what we're going to prop it up with. You also got to think I'm going to be working between it and the thing. So I'm going to try to prop it up with... No, that's not going to work. Let's try another thing. Prop it up with a screwdriver. think that will give me a little bit more room. What I can also do is lift the engine up a little bit. That'll give us a lot more room. I feel like the car is too high. I'm gonna just lower it a little bit. It's better. Okay. That actually gives me the opposite effect of what we want, but I think I can get to it now through here. Okay, let's do one thing at a time. Let me get the old O-ring out. Not really much of an O-ring, more of a mush left, or a shadow of an O-ring. I wish we can show you guys what we're doing, but it's really difficult to do that. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. Oh my god, this is gonna be fun to take out. Now I can't reach it through here. Okay, I think we're gonna move to plan W already. I'm gonna separate it from the trans, which is something I really don't want to do. Oh, what if I do this? All right, I like this. Now it's actually visible. Oh, Jose, let's move the camera so they can see it. So I discovered once we got it down, this stuff, this mushy stuff, that's actually sealer. The O-ring, I'm gonna try and do, there we go. There goes the O-ring, which is like a rock coming off. Here it is. That's the O-ring. And the rest of the stuff is actually somebody that decided, let's put sealer instead of the O-ring, which costs like 50 cents. It's making sure we name that the way it is. So now I'm going to have to clean the sealer first. Which easier said than done. So successful. Sorry folks, I'm covering your entire view, but gotta get the job done, and we'll show you. I think we got enough of the sealer where the O-ring seat is clean. I'm not worried about the rest of the stuff that just sits on the outside. Wait a minute, does this have double O-rings? I see another groove there. No, that's part of the upper one. Okay, there's a rubber grommet on the very top. It's actually part of the dipstick. So I think we are good with our O-ring. Let me go get that new O-ring. We'll hopefully make this work. So here's the new O-ring. Let's hopefully I don't drop it. That is much better. I am not gonna worry about this because unfortunately the sealer is stuck. I could probably get this piece off. I'll keep obsessing over this. Some of the sealer is stuck to the part of, like there's a rubbery part. It's part of the dipstick and I don't want it to peel off. I get it better than this though. There we go, that's better. At least there's no loose particles. So now I'm gonna coat this with some oil. Coat it with some oil. Just engine oil, this is, folks, nothing special. And then get it back in and hopefully, just hopefully, everything will somehow line up. Usually it never works that way, but we're hopeful. We're staying hopeful. Now I can't even see where the dipstick goes. It goes somewhere here. Where do you go? Okay, I think it's time to lower this engine so I can actually see. Okay. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, well, I see it, but I still can't get the dipstick on it. Why is this stuck? What is this stuck? I think that's sitting in there. Not really, because this is the way the weird design of this is. Once you push the dipstick down and put the bolt, that's when that O-ring sits, because it's not actually an O-ring that goes in. It's an O-ring that just sits on top. It's such a weird design. I'm glad they don't use this design anymore, because it's very strange. And on a V8 like this, it's not fun strange. So now the really bad part. I don't need 3 hands, I need 4 hands for this. And it's like Jose can help me, but the problem is Jose helps me and we won't both fit. So I'm just gonna have to do this by feel. Jose, if you'd be so kind and come behind me and just shine the light so I can actually see what we're doing here. Shine the light right there. I think we have liftoff. There it is. Thank you so very much, Jose. Yes, that went. So it's a weird setup. You have a big grommet and then the O-ring underneath it. You have to line up the bolt, tighten the bolt, and once it sits in its place, once you tighten it, it goes this way, it just sits down. Very strange, a lot easier if you don't have this particular transmission, but that's the transmission we have, because this is an early model. The good news is, this is it. Once you fight the fight, struggle the struggle, it is done. So now, I am not going to say it. We may, let's modify that saying. We may be leak free. Maybe. Just maybe. We're gonna leave it at that. How about that? Okay. Good news. The car hopefully is leak free. Now the next thing we're gonna do, I'm debating, we remember these were done, so I want to remove them because we're eventually going to remove the fender liner. Let's remove that. That's retiring. Okay, here is, whoa. Oh, that's old stuff. Here's what I want to do right now. Let's take the front wheels. I'm done with these brakes. I'm done with these brakes. They were brand new when we bought the car, but I'm done with them. They're aftermarket. They're horrendous. I really dislike the clicking sounds they make. I'm just done. We're just going to replace them. They're very expensive, the original ones, and it hurts to replace. It feels wasteful, but they gotta go. We did all this. We're not stopping. They gotta go. Let's do this. Huh. Let me see what's wrong with that picture. We're gonna have to get some lug nuts. These are the correct lug nuts. These are not. They'll work, but just... We got this far. I think we can do better than that. So the brakes. You know, you look at these calipers. Let me see. Oh wow, the sensor's actually stuck in there. You look at these calipers, they look very intimidating. Did you know that the LS has one of the simplest brakes to do? You just have to know the orientation of things. As soon as I said that, it's fighting me. It's not. It's just... I'm gonna compress them a little bit. That is a very 600,000 mile like noise. But let's see what kind of ugliness we have. I mean, they're so unproud of their pads that they don't even put their name on it. That's what that is. So, take this out. Ooh, I don't think I got a new sensor. So I was hoping we'd reuse this one. Oh, yes, we're good. Missing a clip. Because all this is, folks, never buy the original one from Lexus. Just heads up, and I'll tell you why. These aftermarket all day long. Because all this is a loop of wire. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little loop of wire inside. All this does is when this wears down, this little part of the sensor, it cuts that wire and you get a warning. That's all this does. It's not a functional part. If you catch your brakes before this is all the way worn down, reuse it. Most people replace them. I mean, it's nothing. This does absolutely nothing other than turn on a bulb. So we're of course going to reuse this one because our brakes are actually not worn. We just don't like that they're aftermarket and horrendously noisy. So this is a nice part about the LS. The bolts are forward bolts, not in the back. So here's one of them. This massive caliper, super lightweight. This is the beautiful thing. It looks like it's very heavy, but it's not. And here comes this horrendous rotor. No markings. Okay, goodbye. If you would like some gently used brake rotors and pads that are horrendous for an LS430, you can have those. They will be sitting in our scrap pile. You're welcome to take them. I don't recommend it though. This bearing is good. It's nice. These don't even have any rust on them, honestly, but it's for good measure. I think that it's good. Let's go get the beautiful stuff. There we go. Get some of this debris out. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to clean this. All right. Now, would you look at this beautiful sight? Folks, if you own an LS, look, you can put aftermarket stuff. They'll be safe, they'll work, and all that good stuff. But when it comes to the following Lexus models, LS, GS, and the IS, and of course the RC, for some reason, you put any brakes, they always make noise. Like this one, every time you come to a stop, it'll just make a creak as you're coming to a stop. It just sounds horrible. It sounds like a non-luxury car. It's just the brakes are horrible, and then they occasionally squeak, and it just doesn't fit the caliber of this car. But these, they never make noise, and that's what's strange to me about it. It's like, why can't the aftermarket companies figure out a way to get this to work properly? I don't know, and they haven't yet. And then some of you will say, well, if you get this really expensive brake pads, they won't make noise. I thought the whole point of going aftermarket was to save money. Because if you own a car like this, saving money shouldn't be in your list, because these are expensive cars. So at that point, why don't we just put the originals? What's the point? Now, let's put this caliper back on. Sure, we want to our sensor. That's why. There we go. It went in much better. There's no point in cleaning this because the first brake application will look like this again. That's brake dust, folks. There's no way around it. So let's get our pads going. I'm going to make sure these are not labeled A and B, which they shouldn't be if memory serves right. No, they are not. I have 4 A pads, folks. Some Toyota and Lexus pads, they are directional. These are not. And usually the ones that are directional, you'll see A and B or arrows on the pads. That's how you'll know. So there's a very important clip. It is this tiny little clip. That actually is for the sensor. So I'm going to put it over here. So when we go back to put the sensor on the last pad, I'm going to prepare both sides. We're only going to film one side. So the other side is basically exactly the same thing, just repeating. But a little bit. Since we have more, distribute it back. Okay. And then we will figure out our shims. Our shims are exactly the same. Are they exactly the same? No, they are not. So now we got both sides prepared. We're ready for that side as well. Well, let's go put them on the car. Let's put our first pad in. And then we're going to deal with the sensor. Sensor. I put some grease here. Doesn't list it in the manual, but I've always done that on the regular cars, so if it doesn't do anything, it won't hurt. So this clip actually holds this sensor in place. No, this car didn't have it and it was fine. But you know what? We're not going after just fine, we're going after very good. So we're gonna put this clip in. Okay, this sits here. And by the way, if you get original shims, this clip will come with it, so you don't have to worry about it. And if you are not replacing shims, you should already have it. So you could take it out of the old one if it was there and reuse it. New plate and I already forgot something. Now there's a part lot of people forget about these. Because usually, if you work on a Mercedes, these will be the locking type. So once you put the pin all the way in, it actually, the end of it is bigger and it'll lock. But see, this is not a Mercedes pins. You actually are supposed to put these here. You notice when I pulled it out, I actually didn't have that. Now, technically, that is a safety concern because should this pin want to walk back, although it's under a lot of tension with the clip here, should it want to walk back, it's a disaster, for lack of a better word. These brakes are done. Pretty simple, right? They're actually simpler than the regular style, like floating caliper or whatnot. But what we have to do right now is take care of the front strut. So the front strut, I turn the wheel, you can see that right here. It started leaking and it's actually making noise. So we're going to replace the strut. We're going to reuse a spring, although I do have new springs, but I don't have rear springs because they're discontinued. And I'm wondering if I should place the springs and the front will be higher than the rear, and then that will just really make me upset. So I'm going to keep these springs unless I see something I don't like about them when we get them out. But let's start working towards removing this strut, and then we'll work towards everything else. So to get the strut, just to give us room so we wouldn't stretch the wire and break it, because we have to take the upper control arm, separate this ball joint, and then we'll be able to get it. So that should give us enough travel to pull this, push it to the side, and then get our strut out much easier that way. But what I'm going to do is get the bottom bolt out. You guys will probably not be able to see it, but it's the bolt with a nut. There it is. The strut is loose now, so all we got to do is take this out. There it is. Ooh, almost hit the body there. That would be good. Okay, I'm gonna take this out. There we go. That should move this whole contraption to the side. Leave it right there. Let's negotiate. Negotiation is complete, and we have sealed the deal. So here's what we're gonna do. I want to hold this to there, and for some reason I can't find my bungee cord. Just gonna use some zip ties to hold this up there. That's what zip ties are meant to do. So I think that should be sufficient. And be able to hold it. I'm going completely out and stretching the brake hose. So now our strut is pretty much loose. Let's lower the car and get it out. It just has 3/14. You have to grab it at the bottom. There it is. So this is actually an original strut. I don't know if it is the original strut to the car. I highly doubt it, but it is an original setup. And the spring, I mean, it's probably sagged a little bit, but I like the stance of the car. I don't think we're gonna do, if we had a full set, I would have replaced it, but if I replace this now, it will be high in the front, low in the rear, of course. And I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna hold on to the springs for the future if I ever find a set that I like of the rear, or somebody has a new one sitting around somewhere, because putting aftermarket stuff, we're not going to do that. So let's go about replacing the strut, which I already got a new mount for it, new insulator. This insulator all crumpled here. This will change the ride of this car, because I've been noticing it's getting noisier lately. So let's get this strut broken down. And this is something I will say, this is not a very pleasant part, because coil springs are one of those things you should never take lightly, because first, they're dangerous. Second, you should be careful and afraid. That's one thing I'll say, because if you don't have the right tools for this, it will be very dangerous. So here's the thing with the LS430. The front struts are very easy to get out of the car, but they are very difficult to compress this spring, because this spring's under a lot of pressure, and they tend to bow. Like when you compress it, the spring will want to go this way or this way, so you have to get it perfectly centered and hope it doesn't bow. And you can't compress it here, for example, because you need to compress it a lot to get it to really release. So we're gonna hope for the best here, but this is the dangerous part of this job. There's an old mechanic saying is, don't talk to me about fear until you've done heavy springs on a strut like this, which this is a heavy spring. It's a pretty heavy car, and this is a very short spring. And yeah, the rears, however, we were saying the fronts are easy to get out of the car, difficult to compress and get out. The rears, difficult to get out of the car, not really difficult, but more work to get them out, but they are very easy to compress. So with that, let's compress this and hope for the best. They're nowhere near. It's not bowing. It's not bowing, and we haven't lifted off. Sorry guys that we left the camera far away. This is a little dangerous, and I don't want Jose to be close. We're not even close, and the spring's staying straight, so that's good. We have liftoff. That's it. Before we take this off, spring is steady. Okay. This is when the LS430 loves to give you a hard time. So, what I'm about to do here, please, if you're not a professional mechanic, don't do this, because this is very dangerous what we're about to do, but we have no choice. So the strut is seized to the mount. I'm gonna have to tap on it, but it's very dangerous. I'm standing here, so in case it pops, it's gonna go that way, not towards me. So there it is. We have liftoff. That is not doing much. Do you see that? That's actually supposed to go up again on its own and should be a lot easier to compress. If you pull a strut and it does this, it's done. It's not doing its job. That's why it's leaking and nothing is happening. So let's get the new stuff and we'll get this going. So we're going to put the new mount, which actually comes with the insulator. We're going to want to put it in the same position. So I'm going to make a little mark on my spring here. Okay. These are directional, and that direction is right there. Ooh. Okay, this is stuck to that. There it is. Ooh, this is a problem. This got caught by the spring compressor. So there it is. Okay, well that's good. Now so there's a bump stop built into this mount. I love when the mounts come with everything, that 17 million parts you have to get for them. This is sitting exactly where the other one was, so I'm happy with that. Now, let's get some of our hardware. So there's this little washer that sits on top. Could have used the old one, but a few bucks, looks pretty. Why not? Let's install our new strut. Right there. This goes on, and the new nut. That's it. Danger zone is over. Now, if anything pops, we already have this in here. Let's undo this. Yeah, look, don't fight us now. There we go. Well, that strut's ready to go back in the car, so let's put it back in the car. Okay, so this only goes one way, which is this way. No, it is this way. I like this way better. Okay, let's put this back together. Install line holes into it. Now this side is all done. We're gonna do exactly the same thing on the other side. And then let's go button up the car final on the bottom. So now we want to change this fender liner, which I have redecorated here and here. And it's just all beat up. Let's just change it. We went this far. Problem is, we were just talking about this, me and Jose. I told him, well, it's just a fender liner, let's do it. Then he briefly reminded me, well, it is an LS430, so if any other car's fender liner is a problem, it's going to be this one, which I already think we have a problem. Oop. That was not supposed to go that way. Okay. Fender liner's free here. Now we gotta get the rest of the bolts, but before we do that, find my 10 millimeter. That's every mechanic's favorite. Where is my 10 millimeter? Here and here. Okay. This is out. Just take these clips. Okay, let's lower it down and get the rest of it. Hopefully, this is not a typical LS430 thing. Take, there is, for lack of a better word, 17 million bolts and clips. And here. Okay. This one is missing. There's one more bolt there. Okay. That's a really good sign. Come on. You can do it. Should just slide out here. Okay, it says 24. Why aren't you sliding out? There it is. That's why it was sliding out. Stuck. With that, there's the fender liner. Wow, this actually looks not bad at all. Here's a drain. Wonder if that's the cowl drain. Wow, so much easier to get the things here. Like the fog lights. Things look stuck. Is pretty sturdy. Huh, looks pretty cool. See that, guys? Sorry, I was just admiring. Wow, things don't look too bad here. There's not half the dust of state of Washington here. No, there's actually not much. I don't think there has been body work here. So everything looks proper. Or if there was, things were done right. I like that. Okay, stop admiring and let's get to work. So we're gonna do something. This is a sticker from the dealership. This one right here. It actually says our shop name and the dealership we bought it from. So I'm not gonna peel that up. We're gonna leave it for memory. I mean, I don't know who's gonna, if I'm ever gonna sell this car. At this point, it's not looking like that's gonna happen. But if I ever do, you know what? I just discovered something. These are ripped out and they should go underneath these. But if I ever do, look in the fender liner to know if this is the car or not. It's kind of like a hidden Easter egg. We just had these out. Yeah, it looks so familiar. Well, I'm gonna very nervously. I see. This yellow clip has to pop out. Again. Ooh. Really have a bad feeling about this, folks. It's here. No. This is fine, I think. You just have to find a way to squeeze it. Let's see if we get lucky. Okay, did you break? No. We're good. This is a problem with these old clips. Oh, that's what I think broke. Yeah, one of the tabs broke. Both of them broke. But tabs actually just to locate it, because once you put a screw through it, this will open up and it will hold it. So let's try it. I do not have these very strange looking LS430 style clips. If it doesn't hold, then I guess we'll have to order them. Get in here. Before I do this, let me get some clips handy. Always makes the nicest, scariest sounds. Ooh, that's not right. The girl behind that, I think. What's going on? Oh, I see why. Fender liners have a way of, once you get to a certain point, they just kind of pop in place. And they are not at that point yet. There it is. See what I told you? They have a way of just popping in and then they're good. Ish. Looking very, very promising. Ish. Because we still haven't sold the mystery of these yellow clips. See, they're not lining up here. Something is... Okay. Let's take this clip out. See if this is what's holding us up. What is holding us from going this way? Aha, there it is. Yes! Now it just lined up. Okay, I think we may just have liftoff. We don't want to go. Progress. There's the duct. Folks, let us just reiterate one thing. There's no other car that has as many bolts for the fender liner. Most of them, you're lucky if it has 3 bolts. So there has to be a bolt here. But is the duct broken? Yes, I see it. Okay, well, I guess that last one ain't going on. Let me just double check all my bolts. You know about these 2. I think that's it. Fortunately, this one's tab is broken. Let's put these last 2. Yeah, these clips, the yellow clips are fine. Well, this one is no longer decorated over here and half gone on the other side. So let's lift it up. Let's get everything completely buttoned up and final on this car. So let's put these last 2 clips to button up this side. Okay. Yes, this looks proper. It's missing one thing that we're gonna get to right now, but this looks a lot better. I got one. They actually still have it available. I actually got the other side too. I cannot tell you how happy I am. This irrelevant piece that means nothing means a lot to me. Yes, much better. And there's one more thing. I also got these. Yes, looks very, very pretty. Now, we want to put this, but is this the right side? I also got these new, because the other ones were not doing much. Clips are all broken. Is this the right side? I feel like it's not. No, this is the right side. Just going. Oh, I see what's going on. It goes behind that or in front of it. It's just a matter. Is this going to stay? No, it's not going to stay. I'm going to have to get a bolt. This is what started this whole episode with the fender liner. I want to make sure that this is replaced so it will hold it up well. I want to peel off again on the highway. There you go. That's not going anywhere. Very beautiful. Well, what is not very beautiful is this did not come with the nut. So let me see if I can salvage one of the old ones. Negative. Go visit my parts department, see what we can find. So this is actually not the correct ones. I should have cut these. But I modified one that will work. Fits right in here. That should allow us to tie this up, not have any issues. I'm really happy with that. But now let's get the other side, which I do need to find the bolt for it. I think we don't want to spend the rest of the day looking for a bolt that I have none left. Huh, I'm out of stock on this bolt. I'm just going to use the shiny chrome one. Wait a second. I just found a clip that may work better than this one. Yes, this works a lot better than this one. Yeah. Yes. This now is secure. We have another one of these. I don't want to say it, but I kind of want to say it. I think we're going to be able to get all our cover on proper. But now that I said that, we are missing one more bolt here. This one is part of the cover. We want to replace this one because we can have one nice side and the other side is just all worn out and ugly. So without further ado, let's do this one. We're gonna take a small break because I have to spend a lot of time cleaning this leak so I wouldn't see it again. So it's gonna be a second for you, probably be a long time for us. So we'll be right back. Now that we're done with the cleaning, let's put this back. Good. Well, this cover's on, and hopefully this is the last time. I know we have said this multiple times, but as soon as I said that, gotta extract that. Be back. I'm dropping everything already. Now, are we gonna have that shot where I put everything on and just the cover just came crashing down as soon as I walked away from it? Let's hope that doesn't happen this time. That's kind of embarrassing. Of course, when Mr. Jose decided to leave it in the final edit, that was nice. I don't have enough bolts in my hand. They're the right bolts. Don't fall. For the honor of the LS430, don't fall. Oh, didn't fall. Cool. Yeah, we may be back here again in the future. I really tried, folks. Really tried. But that panel is not available. I can't find one used. It's all mangled up. So I guess Guess we will have to live with that. This is the part that I don't understand. Why is this cover not reaching all the way? See that? I really don't like that. You know what that means? This cover is actually not the correct one for this car. It's actually from a newer, like the facelift model that had a different fender liner because it had a different fender, because it has a different bumper. But I think we will have to live with that because we need to get this done. You guys have been waiting too patiently to know how much this costs, and we are not nearing, we're actually at the finish line. This is going to detail, and then that's it. So, first one I put on. I am happy with that. This is not going anywhere. I'm really happy that the edges are, this one on. Oh, hello. I have these clips. Thought this one was good. It's not. Let's see. I have these clips. For some reason I bought 4 of them. Glad I did. Yes. Much better. This one will be okay, I think. Is this the last time we take this cover off? No, probably not. But for now, I think I am very happy with this. Hopefully no more oil leaks. Got this all cleaned up. Let's put the wheels on. We're not going to film this part. I want to do the last touches. We still have to do the rear struts. We're going to do those off camera. We're running out of time on this project. I set a deadline. We have to finish it and move on to the next one. So I really need to drive my next one on the summer here. So let's go do the last touches on the inside. And what we have going on is some of the interior lights, like these, completely burned out. Like for the heated seats, for the VSC, for the transmission, they're all burned out. I got all new bulbs. Not just this. Come on. Cooperate. Ah, God, that was tough. Okay, nothing broke. That's good. So they're all bulbs inside of this. And I actually have to remove this one as well. And while we are here, I actually got a new bezel for this. See if we don't run out of time to replace it. Depends. What do you say, Jose? Should we replace it or you gotta go home? Okay, this little screwdriver ain't gonna cut it. You got a real screwdriver. We're actually gonna use this screwdriver in honor of one awesome viewer that came in the shop. Certain viewer, I'm not going to say your name. Actually, remember your name. You have a 2009 or 2010 beautiful Corolla, very low miles. Wow, this is bringing deja vu from when we tore this entire interior apart. So this car is, if you ever come to our shop or you're in our area, that'll work. This car is either parked inside if it's ugly weather, or you'll see it around the shop parked. So if you're ever in the area, you swing by, you can check it out. It's usually we park it outside intentionally, so in case you're around, you can actually see it in person. You're welcome to do so. This I may not always be available. We do have a shop to run, but if you want to check it out in person, it will be there while the shop is open. Now there's summer out, started driving it more. Place a bulb here. This looks a tad bit complicated. Oh, here it is. I see it. Where's the bulb? radio, which I think the only thing we have on the radio is the hazard switch bulb. Okay, let's just... Oh, all the radio bulbs themselves work. Okay, I think I don't need to remove this all the way out. I do need to remove this all the way out though. They're replacing it. Not the screen, but the bezel part that is all worn. Okay, that's all we need here. Nice and clean. That's one thing I'll say. There is not much of dirt and dust and everything's clean. I love that. Thank you, Jason. Really, thank you. So what we have here, this is completely worn here, of course, from all this use. And they work-ish. And when I say ish, this is one of the coolest features of this thing. But did you know that the screen of this and this part is separate from the rest? So look what I found from Japan, which comes at literally almost half the price of what you can get it here. This brand new one with the motors. Here's the motors plug in, and it just looks beautiful, doesn't it? Well, before we celebrate, we gotta take this thing apart. Small disclaimer, which that disclaimer is gonna come up right now. I have not taken one of these apart, so we're gonna figure things out as we go. If I am not mistaken, there should be 4 bolts that hold this together. 1. If this is this simple, I will be shocked. I just have to say that. It's an LS430. And it's a very unique part to the LS430. So let's find out. Is it really that simple? Oh wow, yeah, I think it is that simple. Let's see. I feel like it's very attached here. Oh wow, it is that simple. There it is. That's all it is. This is very cool. Since we have this apart, I think this will be a great opportunity to clean the stuff you can't reach. Let's give this a good clean. The rest of it is clean. It's just these areas behind the bezel. I think we did something. Look at this towel. Yes, we did something for sure. So, retirement time for this guy. Doesn't just look beautiful. Look at that. I can't wait. I am driving this car home tonight no matter what happens. Well, not much is gonna happen, but you know what I mean. I am puzzled by one thing. Why is this very simple? It's too simple for an LS430. Which means we may have other complications with the other stuff. Things never go the simple way in an LS430. They always go the complicated way. Well, let's stay positive here. Yes, I am very, very happy with this. This looks awesome. Okay, moving on to the next thing. These switches. This one, I saw it, there's a bulb right here. The main problem is, there's one little tiny problem. I think this is the same bulb. I ordered all these bulbs, and they're all different. So, excuse us for a second while we go dig through them and figure out what's what. So we went looking for these bulbs, and we were surprised to find this. If there's anything LS430 about this, it's this. Because you look at this, this looks like a headlight bulb, or I don't know, even this is big for a headlight bulb. But let me just show you what is inside of this. This giant box has a little plastic bag which has a tiny little bulb. Just for reference, I'm going to put this one here. Yeah, that is overkill for this box, but that's what they deemed the box for this bulb. We're not going to argue it. It's fine. The bulb is very important. Some of these bulbs are actually pretty expensive for what they are. It's just a little bulb with a socket. This one is good. Let's unbox the other bulb. This is just hilarious. Is this one not going on? Oh no, I guess that is on. Okay, these two are complete. Now this thing, which should have two bulbs in it, we have to take it apart. Let's see, because I don't see the bulbs accessible from the out. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we do have to take it out. As I see one bulb here, but the other one's behind the bezel. So let's take the bezel out. Okay, well, I can live with that. These are actually very clean. I think they did take this apart because this looks brand new. So I think they did clean here. But now let's get rid of the bulb because it's very difficult to figure out which bulb goes where. So we're going to do it one at a time. Here's this one, and here's how these bulbs come. So give it a minute. Let's find it. This one. This I think is the other one. So let's leave this one to the side. Not these. How about this one? Well, it's not a brown base. Ah, yes, that looks about the right one. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So. And this is not a brown base. This is definitely not a brown base. So why do we have this one and then this one? Okay, once I get it out of the bag, it just doesn't want to come out. Okay. That's definitely not the right bulb. This is this one, I think, which means they changed it to a gray one. Yeah, this is that one for sure. So I'm going to put this one in. This one is done, but we still have the mystery of this one. Let me go actually check the part number, because I think it is, they changed it to a gray one. Let me go check the part number. I'll be right back. Well, I have some news. After much time we spent, they sent us the wrong bulb for this particular one, because we already found all the other bulbs. So I guess the VSC off will stay unlit for now till we get the right one. But we have to assemble the car, like I said. So as soon as we get that, this panel is very simple to pop out. We'll just pop it out and get this going. But for now, I guess we have the heated seats, although we're going into summer, so that's just, at least it's not total darkness where everything is just off. nothing works. This one is done. Then the next one is this one, which is, yeah, we're gonna have to get the switch out. There's this one for the power. No, what did they call it? Pattern select, which is a very interesting name for it. Okay, are you gonna make us disassemble this entire thing? No, there must be a way. Let me just look and see. Yes, there is a way. And I see it. There it is. And there it is. That's beautiful. Here's that bulb. I guess the bulb doesn't want to retire. Well, if you worked, we wouldn't retire you, but you don't. So now we labeled all our stuff, so we wouldn't power. I labeled it power mode. Well, you get the idea. It's for the pattern select, I guess. Okay, now let's not put this backwards, which is this way. Sits like that. Yes, this is done as well. And the next one is going to be the hazard switch. Kinda important. I think the screwdriver is way too big. And grab another one. Now that we got the right screwdriver, is these tiny little screws. There are two different ones. Be careful. Okay. Well, I still don't see the bulb. Get this to the side. So what have we here? Where is the bulb? Does this come apart? Yes, it does. So there is a holder. It's just amazing to me how they. It just feels like one piece. So where is the bulb, Lexus? This has to come off, but how? Let me see here. Maybe. Yes. Which direction? Which direction does it go to? This way or this way? It's really good. Oh, it has to be down. So put pressure. Pop this one. There it is. There's a tiny little bulb. That is such a tiny bulb. This is such a teeny bulb. Hold on, let me get my microscope. Yeah, it's a tiny bulb. It's a very small bulb. Yeah, this is the wrong one. Hazard. Oh, we got two of them for good measure. You know, these bulbs, folks, last a very long time. We're actually going to keep this bulb. Try not to rip this bag. Okay, which one was the new one? I'm not going to risk it. So you get another one out of the bag. Is this one? Jose says this one. So Jose, if this doesn't work, you'll take it apart? I think you will. I'll just have you take it apart. Well, you've watched this car come apart a million times now. Probably do it blindfolded too. Okay, I'm gonna need something to twist this. Okay. Okay, now we got this. Before I put it on, I wonder if you can flip this. I think that is the right way. Yes. Just like that. Yes, that is very good. Now we gotta make sure we don't, there's two types of screws here. One of them is a bolt, and one of them is a screw. More LS430 goodness. Just, you can imagine there was an entire team dedicated, or at least maybe one engineer that spent a lot of time designing this, kind of getting this all to work and work right to their standard. We did actually make it very simple, and I appreciate that. Okay, now we got one last one. This one is kind of important to me. Mirror switch, also dead. This one, not so much, but still, we're here. Mirror switch is simple. The other one doesn't seem like it. So, okay. Now on the mirror switch, this is the one for the fold. The mirror switch, actually, the bulb comes separate from the green part. So the green part is just a little rubber plug. Some of them, they come with a rubber plug, some of them don't. If you put them without the green plug, it'll be just a white light and look horrible, not match the rest. So this one, it happens to be one that doesn't come with the green thing. Cap, they call it. People have called it other inappropriate names, but we're gonna call it a cap and leave it at that. So the cap goes over this, just like that, and now it's the same bulb. So let's put this in. Why don't you want to turn? Sometimes these things get so stubborn. Let's try this again. Oh. There we go. This one, which is, how do you come out, my friend? Oh, I have a tab here, but I don't know what this other contraption is. At least there are definitely two things. I don't know what this one does, because it's not a switch. Ever so gently get this one out. Clipped on the other side. This is not fun. Okay, here's what's going to happen. We have to remove the one for the mirror. Okay, the one for the mirror is really proving. Okay, let's go back to our original plan. Okay, if you just stay that way. Yes! So what's the orientation? It goes like that, and the bulb is right here. There we go. The bulb is done. This is the last bulb. It is the correct one, so that's good. Okay, this one's going to go back in. All done. Let's go put it all back together and celebrate. Let's reassemble this. And folks, I will say one thing. This is the final assembly for real this time. I will have to go back and do the bolts because I don't have them. I thought I ordered them. I thought I had them, but I looked for them. I don't think I do, or they've been misplaced. So I'm gonna have to order some bolts. That just looks beautiful. I love this. I had to say that. Okay, I will have to order some of these bolts. This is simple enough. Just pop these. I'll get them. They're kind of a specialty bolt. I don't usually have those in the shop. That is good. Next thing is the radio. I love the sound these make when you shift the shifter. This one is the hazard. We got this one. And that's not the one. Where's my connector? Oh, here it is. Well, it's doing something. Let's fight. This bolt's about to fall. Isn't this one aligned up? Something going on with this bracket. My magnetic socket, you know, the world we live in is becoming a strange place. I ordered these sockets, replacement warranty, and it's been a long minute and nothing. There we go. There we go. I like that. I think that is good. Brackets just move, and if you don't line them up perfect, because they have a little tab, that's why I had a hard time sliding the radio in, but I think now we are good. This is the next thing that goes on. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's two at least. Okay. Well, that's official. There's actually one last thing that I want to do before we wrap this up. Do one more trick. I searched high and low for this panel. This is actually a separate replaceable panel. It's heavily scratched and wearing off. It's discontinued and I could not find one. So I'm going to continue to search, possibly for a used one. I tried Japan, tried everywhere, not available, discontinued everywhere. You notice the shift lock is missing. And what I was able to find was this chrome bezel. First, let's put this on. Let's go the other way. It's much better. The last thing is this chrome bezel Actually, it just pops out. We get a beautiful new one. I wish I found this. This would have been really nice to have. This is the last thing of this entire interior that's kind of lets it down. Everything else just looks beautiful. Do you have a direction? Yes, it was the right direction because it says P, which means passenger. US model. This is officially done now. I love this. Lots of distractions in the shop. Well, we have a confession to make. And this confession is actually more of Jose has a confession to make. Jose, did we film an outro for this video? I know it was midnight. Did we film a video outro for this video? I just said that again because it's midnight again here. Did we film an outro for this video, Jose? He's shaking his head, saying no. And whose fault that is? Shaking, he's saying yes. No, in all defense, it is my fault. We completely did not film an outro on this video until we got to editing it because we held everything, because the grand finale of this series, folks, is one episode away from being done. Filming wise, because remember, we are in the future right now. So, thank you for watching this. All I'm going to tell you is a small sneak peeks. No, this is not how the LS430 turned out. I wish this is how it turned out, and I can wish we find a way to convince the owner of this beautiful car to sell it to me, but they won't. I don't blame them. Here's what's going on with the LS430. It is gone to Jason, even though I know what happened after that, but bear with me here. We're trying to kind of start the movie from the end to the beginning. In the next episode, you're going to see us dropping off the car at Jason's, and then Jason's going to do his magic, and then you will see the results, which, trust me, you're going to want to tune in for that because, yeah. And then we have maybe one more episode after that doing kind of the odds and ends and the grand reveal of why I did this project and how much it cost. And then you're going to have a chance to get to see it in person. We'll talk about that as well. Folks, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. And I really hope that you're enjoying this gorgeous thing just like I am. Just gotta find a way to convince the owner to sell it to me. And until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.